Eventually it'll be there. So, yeah, when last we left, we'd actually made it pretty far. I think the furthest I had ever made it in Long Live the Queen. So as you can see, we've done some work. We went full magic user. I think I still need to cap... Dowager's a great word. Still need to cap sense magic. Hey, Mario-chan, how's it going? I'm pretty close on economics if I decide I want to cap economics. But the real interesting thing is, week 34, this is now the furthest I've been in this game. So everything from here on out is a surprise. All of my notes, all of my work over here, this is useless. I have no idea what's coming up. Everything from here on out is new. So, we have some decisions to make. Namely, what are we learning? So, I mean, I definitely want to up military, because I'm fairly confident there's going to be some battles near the end of this. I feel like upping history is probably worth it. Maybe at some point I start dipping into, like, reflexes, maybe. Seems like it could be valuable. Being, like, any amount of social. I feel like I want to get my lore up. I feel like I want to get, Novan history and world history, and probably foreign affairs. Foreign affairs, at least, up. Which means I have to uncap it. And then, like, there's some amount of I probably want to get better at, like, once I fill out all of the stuff over here, I guess I probably want to start working on medicine at some point. Is there anything that gives a bonus to medicine? Lonely gives a bonus to medicine. Is it time to get lonely? What are we doing today? We're angry, so bonus to weapons, bonus to military. So I can spend some time on military here, right? I can go on strategy and logistics. I could actually try and boost my weapons over here? Like, try and get better with swords, or try and get better with archery, just in case that has value. Presumably that has value. Like, if I'm going to be in a war, then some of these things need to be addressed. Although, I guess Lumen, right? Like, why would I bother? I could just set people on fire. As has already been noted. What is the existing story? Oh man, we went through a lot. I think this is one of the runs where I decided to marry Talarist. And he showed up at the ball and saved me from a vote of no confidence because Banyan is a huge, just absolute huge dick. And then, yeah, we managed to survive all the way through the tournament. I think the Duke of Io, is that Kivan? I think that's Kivan. Kivan, the Duke of Io, showed up and challenged us to a duel, and we just set him on fire. Because the heck did he think he was doing, challenging a Lumen to a duel? Like, that was clearly a mistake on his part. But yeah, this is... I mean, you can kind of see the story here, right? Like, we know all about intrigue, we know all about magic, we are awful at social graces, and we're practically in a wheelchair at this point, but none of that matters because Lumen. Alright, so I think I'm just gonna keep ignoring everything on this half of the grid, and let's up military. I mean, we have the huge bonus to military right now because we're angry, so that seems like a good place to put some work. Strategy and logistics, go! What do I want to be dressed as? What do I think matters right now? I have no idea. None at all. At some point military, probably at some point economics. At some point intrigue, do you think? Maybe? Don't bring a sword to a magic fight? No kidding. Yep, kill it with fire is exactly what we did. I mean, it really seems to solve a lot of problems, you know? Like, people want to kill you, just kill them with fire. Like, people are trying to invade, kill them with fire. So... do I just keep the tuxedo on for now and then work on the military stuff? Sure? Maybe I actually spend the time to cap economics at some point? I'm just gonna go with military for right now, and I'll stick with the tuxedo. I have no idea what's coming is the problem, and I want to be able to prepare for it, and I don't know. I don't know anything. Maybe it's the time to start working on history now? No, I have the bonus to military. Let's do military. Okay, so strategy and logistics. That's what's happening. Military, strategy, military, logistics. No death by chocolate. I have actually never died to the chocolate, which is something that I find fairly impressive, because I think every time we've gotten there, I've had enough intrigue to know that that's not necessarily where you want to be. So what are we up to here? You study the use of cavalry in battle, as well as the costs and benefits of traveling with large animals. You study the effects of a strong hierarchy on military organization and the ability of troops to respond to changing situations. Communication across an army can be difficult. Disrupted signals can lead to chaos. Maybe I can disrupt signals by setting them on fire. You learn about how to calculate enemy war preparations based on the movement of goods within their lands. Armies do not spring up full-formed overnight. Whoa! Hey! Thank you, Maru-chan. Wow! Much appreciated. That's a very specific number that you just felt like donating. So, I guess that's gonna happen. I guess we're committed. Alright, Darkstar, you get your wish. It's gonna happen. I just gotta schedule it. Well, regardless of what I am in for in the future, thank you very much for the donations, Maru-chan. I really appreciate it. Oh, God. Alright, now to figure out when this is gonna happen. A couple of weeks, I think. Maybe 2 weeks. What game is Soma again? Soma is the sequel to Amnesia. Not the sequel, it's made by the same company. What feedback I have heard, or what information I've heard about it, is that it's more sci-fi, less jump scare. So, like, honestly, that sounds like I'll probably enjoy it more. Does it support VR? I do not have the VR equipment for it, even if it does. So let's just put that one on hold for now. Oh. Oh, God. Alright. Alright, we can do this. So, we study... What else do we study? We study the benefits of looting as a troop motivator. Don't offer that, Cryptomancer! Why? Why are you doing this to me? The benefits of looting as a troop motivator versus the negative effect on civilian populations. Alright, if Soma does support VR, I suppose I would be willing to try this and see how tolerable it is. Like... But then you have to deal with me wearing a visor the whole time. Which, I don't know, maybe that's okay. Maybe that's fine. Now that I think about it, are there any VR games that I really want to try? I'm not sure that there's any that's, like, VR-specific games that I feel like I want to stream, although... playing Bomb Game in VR actually sounds like a really good time. Like, that's something I probably do want to try at some point, so, maybe I borrow VR equipment from Cryptomancer. Oh, jeez. So here we are, in the future. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Just having a lot of setup and a lot of stuff that you have to do in order to make it work. It's definitely not, stream-friendly technology yet. I think it's going to take a while before all of the little, the conveniences get there. While in VR versus while doing anything else. Like, there's so much left to integrate into the VR experience. And while that does, like, potentially... Excuse me. Potentially affect immersion in a lot of ways, just having those conveniences, I think, is really important for people who are using VR in a performative way. Like, I've seen people do stuff in VR, like... I don't know if any of you have seen anything in Tilt Brush. But there's a lot of videos out there about people, like, making stuff in Tilt Brush, and it's, as much as it's, like, cool to see people doing that, like, cool to see people making art like that, for the person making the art, I think it's, like, an actual real problem to have an audience that you can't see, can't hear, can't interact with, and I don't know, it just seems like a weird experience to me. Anyway. So we have Elise, who has urgent information for us. My lady, your father wishes to speak with you. He says it's urgent. Alright, maid Elise. Fine, I'm coming. You find your father standing over a map of the coastline. It's time for war! It's a good thing I know how to military. Although if it's a map of the coastline, maybe I need naval strategy? Uh-oh. Time to work on that. His face grave. Oh, so it does work. Okay, it's worth checking out. Ships have been sighted on approach from Shangia. Not trade ships. This is a war fleet. What? It's probably an appropriate reactionality. Within a week, they will be in Novan waters. Within 2, they could reach the capital. Then we will fight to defend ourselves. You can try to use the treasury funds to hire additional soldiers, but it may be difficult on short notice. Recruit soldiers or don't. Better safe than sorry? I mean, what are we using the money for anyway? Fine, we'll do that. What about Talas? Can we call on any troops from Sedna? Oh, that's right! That's right! I'm supposed to have married him. Right? Does it show it here? Yeah, betrothed to Talarist. Okay. So maybe they can help out? That would be nice. Send a message. But even if he agrees, it will take time for his soldiers to mobilize. Yeah, and the message isn't gonna get there that quick. Even in the age of Luminary, it's not as simple as, like, sending an email or a Facebook message or something. It's gonna take, like, a week for him to get there. What about Ixion? What is Ixion? I don't even remember who Ixion is. Somebody else I have, an agreement with? Ixion? Is Ixion the people to the south? That we got into, like, some kind of the border skirmish? I think Ixion... Is Ixion the people that, that Banyan's sister taunted and stole territory from? God. All of this history that I need to have, like... I need to actually have a separate notepad thing, not for what is happening. Hey! Wow! Hey, thank you for the money, Iwobud. $4.20. Thank you very much. Right on. Cool, thank you, I appreciate it. Glad to have you folks around, wow. Yeah, I just need to set up a separate doc that actually shows, like, the timeline and the history and stuff as I learn it. Because, man, being able to go like, oh, Ixion, I need a reference point for that. Who is Ixion? Maybe if I look back, I'll see, like, an actual thing that mentions who I'm fighting in those places. Yeah, it's totally Ixion. So what did I do with them this game? That's a real question, right? I must have paid them off, I guess? Or... maybe I just surrendered the province to them? That's possible. I think I paid them off. I think I had enough accounting and trade to pay them off. So maybe, like, they're okay, and I can potentially rely on them for assistance? Who knows? Anyway, week 44, I should make a note of this. Warships from... oh, what was it? Sedgwia something? Where was it? From Shangia. Shangia. After I gave up territory to them, they owe us a favor. Okay, yeah, so I did just cede the territory. I didn't want to get in trouble with anybody. I was just like, you know what, you guys can have it. Oh, and then Banyan was mad because I wasn't defending the country. Whatever, screw Banyan. Send them a message as fast as possible. If they accept your request, they may be able to provide aid. You will need to draw up a naval strategy for our ships to carry out. Well, I can do that. You could choose to act as admiral and lead the fleet in person, but the danger to you would be very great. But you forget, I can just set ships on fire. Unless you think your personal skills will make the difference, and I do, I would strongly advise against it. I'm going to direct the fleet, are you kidding me? The risk is mine to take. You have your mother's heart, and my mother's lumen crystal, more importantly. There is one more thing I hesitate to ask, but an invasion, This is the sort of disaster for which a lumen's power may be worth the cost. This is why I've been training as a lumen this whole time. I'm not at triple hundreds across the board on luminary for nothing. If the fleet could be destroyed before they reached our waters, many lives would be saved. I don't know any magic that could sink a whole fleet. Are you sure? You know kind of a lot of magic, my girl. I'll have to talk to my mentor. You find the Duchess of Ursul in her guest quarters. A fleet from Shangia is attacking us. Is it possible to sink them all with magic? It is easy enough to attack one soldier, one ship as a demonstration, but to obliterate an entire fleet, you would need an immense amount of power spread over a large area, more than any one lumen could control. Aha! But what if I have more than one lumen crystal? How does that factor in? Yeah, that one might actually count as only 90 instead of 100, but it's sense magic, so, like, I'm rounding up. Which is probably incorrect. If you tried to raise that much power yourself, you would die. Not could. Would. So it's hopeless. Not necessarily. The most dangerous power of Imperial Nova was that of lumens acting in concert. If the need is great, and the will is true, one lumen may choose to give command of her power to another. 3, perhaps 4 people working together might have the strength to destroy a fleet. You, me, and Celine, will that be enough? It might. Are you willing to take the risk? Such power has its price. It's gonna kill me. I know it's gonna kill me. I know it's gonna kill me, but I have to do it because this is the whole point of what I have been doing. Like, if I don't do it, then what am I even doing here? Alright, so I had choices to hire more troops with no checks, and I had the choice to pool lumen power with no checks yet. Am I save scumming? I don't know. I mean, I have the save file right before this one, right? So if it doesn't work, then I have that. Like, we can always go back, I guess. I really do want to finally take Elodie to full queen. So maybe. What did she say? This is what I was born for. I say we do it. Then we will begin the preparations. Alright. Well, now I've been, like, willful and pressured and something else. I want more military, so I kind of want to stay angry. But I'll go back to Iron Princess once I have a win under my belt, and I can figure stuff out that way. I guess visit the dungeons makes me angry. Alright, we could do that. You sneak down to the castle dungeons and amuse yourself by poking the locked-up peasants with sticks. Poor fools. Oh, I got willful! Oh, I still have the bonus to military, though. Sweet. I think we take a double hit of naval strategy right now. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. And then, outfit, let's become better at military, because, wow, do we need to be military, I guess. What is my mood? So now I'm willful. I want to become more willful. I want to become less willful. I want to become angry, less willful, and we'll see how other stuff is affected. If I become more cheerful or more lonely, that can affect my abilities. In the meantime, I mean, we're definitely doing this, right? That's absolutely what's happening. I think I do actually want to become lonely because then I can boost my medicine. And if I look at my skills, I guess I want history? History or something? Maybe? I'm not sure what else I want at this point. Probably history, although maybe it's too late. Maybe the time for history is past. Probably medicine, honestly. So medicine is lonely. History I can get from yielding. That's pretty much it. So we'll see what I get. If I go into my mood, I'm not gonna get yielding. I could still get lonely. Angry or lonely, I think, is where I want to be. And right now they're tied, with willful at one above both of them. So I need to get less willful or more yielding, and then either get more angry or more lonely, depending on what I go for. Alright. But let's do the naval strategy thing for right now. You learn about the requirement for all civilized sailors to rescue the crew of a sinking ship, even an enemy. You learn about the challenges to naval warfare posed by unpredictable weather, as well as the dangers of sailing too close to an unknown coastline. I think I got to like 99 point something with Sense Magic, and it rounds it up on that screen, but it's still not actually 100, so your guess is as good as mine as to why it's doing that thing. That sounds like a bug to me, honestly, but it may indicate that I still don't actually have full Sense Magic because of the way the numbers played out. So I don't know what it actually ended up as. Like, it's distinctly possible it was like 99.98, and in order to round the 0.9, it rounds up to 100.0, even though that's not right. Challenges to naval warfare posed by unpredictable weather, as well as the dangers of sailing too close to an unknown coastline. You learn about the use of ships in transporting ground soldiers between locations. You study the cost, time, and materials. Wow! I got like plus 60 in naval strategy here? That's amazing! Good job! You study the cost, time, and materials required to construct new ships. You study blockades, both setting them and breaking them. You study the effect of cannons against coastal installations, such as enemy docks and seaside villages. Huh. Oh, here it is, the war! Danger on the high seas! You and your two fellow lumens join hands to focus your powers. Listen to this music. I'm dead. I'm so dead. This is not going to work out well for me. Ooh, wield magic success! Good thing at 100. Alright, so, week 45. Danger on the high seas! It is very important that this be given multiple exclamation marks. It turns out that wield magic at 100 is a success. Your magical training is paid off by allowing you to stage this attempt at a safe distance from the invading vessels of war. Test Lumen. Partial success. Are you kidding me? Partial success? Oh god. Alright. Followed by Lumen, which is like 90 plus 100 plus 100 is a partial success. Good lord. In the distance, the sea stirs. Ripples become waves, become triangular peaks of water, causing enemy ships to tilt crazily and batter into one another. It is a terrible storm, but it is not enough. You have damaged their fleet, but the fleet still sails. Now it will come down to the naval battle. Ships close in on each other, angling into range. Court manners failed. Your ships, but not Ixion's. Okay, okay. So there was a court manners check here. I see, I see. Court manners, which I failed. Should take a day. Yeah, I should have taken a day of Sense Magic, I guess. Court manners for Ixion's ships, which is fair. I put literal 0 effort into court manners, so it's not surprising. Climbing failed. Wow. Climbing checks, of all things. You take your position with a spyglass, watching the enemy movements closely and shouting out any necessary changes in plan. You now have an edge over the Shanjian forces in terms of numbers, but it could all come down to strategy. Wield magic success. Okay, another wield magic. Your skill in long-range magic makes you as effective as a cannon, and more maneuverable, but there are far too many ships for you to take each one out individually. The eventual outcome is a hard-fought victory. War. It just tests war? War. What does that mean, war? Is it like strategy plus a bunch of other things? Plus like... Whew. Man, well, we got out of there alive, so that's something. Hard-fought victory. You have repelled the invasion fleet, become hecka cheerful. Success leads to +3 cheerful. Man, I'm so happy that I won the war. You have repelled the invasion fleet, driving the survivors back across the sea. You and your sailors are heroes, and Nova is safe once more. Alright, well now we're super cheerful. What does cheerful get me? Conversation and athletics? I don't want to be cheerful. I guess I want to be afraid and lonely? I want to be afraid and lonely. Which is a weird thought, but yeah, let's go for it. You wander through the parts of the castle where other people rarely visit, but find little except spiderwebs. Yuck. Alright, well, super cheerful. This is who we are. Can't believe we won that war, though. That's nice. Oh, yeah, Ixion's gonna suffer for this. So where are we now? I think I do want to take that last hit of Sense Magic. And then... what? Do we finally start learning court manners? Is it time? Go into economics, finish up any of my military stuff. Oh man, even with a penalty to military, I'm still positive. It's amazing. Maybe this is a good time to go for lore? I don't have a boost to faith. Does anything give a boost to faith? Does anything give a boost to faith? Being afraid gives a boost to faith. Being pressured gives a boost to faith also. Being yielding gives a boost to faith? Wow, there's a lot of things that give boost to faith. Okay, so maybe that's something I look into for later. For now, I think we do take that last class in Sense Magic. And then... Depressed? Depressed is expression and animal handling. Do we finally start delving into the physical stuff? Like, now that I've been out there on a boat and realized that, hey, war is heck, the time has come to actually start getting better at stuff? Maybe I'll learn how to run? Maybe I'll learn how to swim? Oh god, if I have to go out in a boat again, I'd better learn how to swim. Alright, I think we're gonna do Sense Magic and running. Yeah, attending court gives yielding and depressed. I didn't want to be too yielding for this one. Like, at this point I think I'm most of the way there on all of the stuff that I want. This is when you learn how to dogs? Dogs don't matter. Dogs never matter. There's like one check for dogs the entire game, and I think it's the chocolate one. Maybe there's multiple checks for dogs. I don't know. I know there's like 2 checks for falcons. One is like the divination, and then one is like randomly when you're running away from Banyan, not Banyan, Kivan, at the tournament. I don't know, maybe there's stuff later on. I guess there's a lot of stuff I still haven't seen. Still, Sense Magic and running, I think. And I'll keep the military suit on just in case, because I have no idea what's going to be coming up this week. So, agility... No, athletics, running. Lumen, Sense Magic. Let's polish this off. All into dogs from day one? How'd that go? I guess they actually passed every check for dogs. For what that's worth. Queen of the dogs, beautiful. You practice walking at a brisk but comfortable pace for a set length of time every day. You learn to detect lingering traces of strong magic from the past, even when the spell is long since completed. Well, there it is. Finally capped it. It was 99.98. I spent an entire half week on Sense Magic so that I could get the .02. I have nothing more to learn about Sense Magic. About time. Oh no, repercussions! Ooh, that's unfortunate. No check ever showed up for the dogs! Oh man, make bad decisions, get punished. Alright, so we gotta deal with these storms, huh? The magical storms you summoned created giant waves, which swept inland as well as out. Damage has been reported along the shoreline, from Mazomba down to northern Marie. The beaches are covered with wrack and the bodies of animals, and many fishers and cocklers are missing. Are you blaming me? Of course not. Many more lives would have been lost if the fleet had landed. What worries me is that these reports are increasing, even long after the events of the battle. More than that, an observatory in Caloris has seen strange shapes in the sea to the west. Something worse than a simple storm may have been unleashed. This is what happens when you don't go full Lumen. You mess things up and you summon Cthulhu. Now everything is over. Does that mean a sea monster? Alright. The Kraken definitely unleashed. Okay, so now I 100% want to get more lore. So lore is under faith, so we want to get yielding, pressured, or afraid. Afraid's not going to happen. I don't think yielding is going to happen either. But we can try for yielding and pressured and attend court. Yeah, murdered by Cthulhu. Mixed success, right? Right? This is exactly the problem. Partial success means I mess around the boats a little and summon Cthulhu. I was so close to doing everything right. Alright, we're attending court. Sitting in on court sessions is not fun at all, but it pleases your father, and it may be important for your future. Sounds fishy, he says. So lore, right now we have 1.9 plus almost 0.5, so 2.4 bonus to faith. With 2.4, if I do 2 hits of lore, actually that's just gonna cap it anyway. Let's just do that. Let's just cap lore. Go! Oh god, Cryptomancer, why? At the height of the Novan Empire, all the major dukes and duchesses were lumens, and they conquered their enemies with beams of light and terrible summoned monsters. Those monsters eventually broke loose, killing their captors and destroying the old capital on Cathary Lake. The resulting chaos shook the Empire. Bad news. 200 years ago, a great force of darkness covered Nova, threatening to wipe out all life in the domain. It took the self-sacrifice of the Queen and her complement of lumens to defeat that doom. Only the Duke of Ursul refused to join in the defense, and therefore survived. Yeah! A lumen once tried to lift the curse from an enchanted spring, whose water was poisonous and flowed green. After dispelling the magic, she tasted the water and fell dead. The green glow was not a curse, but a spell placed by a lumen long before to warn everyone away from the spring's natural poison. The dangers, man! Everything is dangerous. Only increased by 21.96. So... plus... did I miscount how much bonus I would get? If it's plus 2.4, That means I'm getting, like, 3.4 each day. 3.4 times 5 is, like, 17? Oh, I totally miscounted. Blah. A Lumen may willingly surrender control of his or her magic to another. This was how the Novan Empire came to dominate the world. A growing force of Lumens focused on a single ruler, granting that king or queen immense power. It is now believed that strong magical power attracts danger. Therefore, after the Doom Shadow was banished, the crystals of the fallen dukes and duchesses were destroyed. You can destroy lumen crystals? How do you destroy lumen crystals? Didn't Juliana say that you can't destroy it, you can only contain it or whatever? Only the Crown and the Duchy of Ersul maintain active lumens. Interesting. In the Grand Hall, your father is waiting for you. There it is! A Kraken! Exactly as called. Our fears have been realized. A Kraken has risen. A Kraken?! An enormous tentacled sea monster which can dive and surface at will. Alright, but I know about Krakens. I know about lore. I know about everything. This is not a problem. I am the best lumen. I'm the best lumen to ever lumen. It is fast, voracious, and apparently unkillable. Any ship that ventures into its range is at risk. God, Cryptomancer and Darkstar, the two of you together. This could destroy Nova's shipping. Yay, tentacles! Oh my god. But I know about trade! And ocean shipping is really important to our economy. Oh, okay. So by knowing about trade, I just know exactly how screwed I am here. So, week 36, a Kraken has arisen. Week 37, a Kraken has arisen. Behold, note-taking. So what have we done so far? We have passed a... What was it? Trade? Just like actual trade? Trade. Trade. Know things about shipping. Yep. What can we do? Do we just wait and hope it goes away? Elodie, you know all the lore. You know exactly what we can do. I don't know what we can do, but you know what we can do! Oh no. Ah, Celine has joined, the other Lumen. No. Quite unexpectedly, the priestess strides into the room. What are you doing here? I came to bring the records of the Circle, so that you would know what you face. Left alone, the beast will feed until the seas run red, and only then will it sleep. It would cost hundreds of thousands of lives. Exclamation mark! There are only two ways to end its threat. Lumen spell-weaving can freeze a Kraken in its tracks, holding it motionless, but only for a short time. If the spell is renewed every moon, giving the beast no time between castings to move freely, it should eventually sleep. How long would that take? Approximately 7 years. Wah! Right? Yeah, Celine's super happy about this. She knows her stuff. She's just happy to know what's going on and be like, I can be the advisor. I know what's going on. Years! Oh my god, Elodie is surprised by everything today. But if at any point the spell cast is too weak, or is not renewed in time, it would break loose. And the treasury would be drained keeping up such a routine. What is the other way?
It is well known that eldritch beasts can be driven out by sacrifice.
I don't like what you're implying, Celine! Oh, that's exactly what you're implying.
The life force of a lumen or potential lumen on the cusp of adulthood would be the ideal choice.
No! You will not take my daughter! Yo, Jocelyn's not happy about this. You see, Elodie, this is why I told you to reject them. They are all witches!
Even without her mother's crystal, she would still have been a potential lumen. Keeping her ignorant would not have kept her safe. A potential lumen, because I'm my mother's daughter. Which means Charlotte, too. But I could never hurt my favorite cousin.
I will not allow this.
The choice belongs to the queen. Me.
Oh, God. Oh, I wanted to live! I wanted to live! I know there's an achievement for dying this way. So maybe that's like... Maybe that's worth it? I don't know. But... Let's see if we can survive. I want to survive. I want to just once survive all the way through. God, Luminary was a mistake. Luminary has always and will ever be a mistake. We know not the powers with which we dabble. I'm gonna try and seal it.
We'll have to do our best to seal the Kraken away, no matter how long it takes.
Save game, unlock achievement, then continue. I don't know, I can always just go back and, like, sacrifice myself and see what happens. How far back do I have to go before it'll let me save? Can I go all the way back? I can't go back to before the class. So at this point, I'm kind of committed. Maybe it auto-saved. Like, I don't know when it auto-saves. Alright, what if I go back and sacrifice myself? Here it goes!
This is my fault. It's my responsibility.
Elodie, no!
I wouldn't have made a good queen anyway. At least like this I can defend my domain. So don't be sad for me. I'll be with Mom again soon. Come with me. I will teach you what you need to know.
It's almost a relief to know that now everything will end. And you won't have to make decisions ever again? Wow, so cynical. Oh my god, this picture. Are you kidding me? Elodie did not survive to reach her coronation. Nova would have to go on without her. But it doesn't have to end this way! Make different choices! Train different skills! Yeah, that's for you, chat. Enjoy the tentacles. There you go. Tentacles for you. I know this is what you've been waiting for. Alright, so we go back, and we make the other decision. We're gonna try and steal it.
After all, isn't that what our magic is for? To defend the world from darkness?
Tentacles! What a great cheer.
I will teach you the necessary spells. You must arrange the transportation.
Very well. Whoa. God, now what? Where do we want to be? What are we trying to do? I have no idea what just happened in terms of mood. Mood changed. I got more willful. I guess I could try to be more willful. I don't want to be willful. I want to be yielding. Why did I want to be yielding? Why did I want to be yielding, actually? Now that I think about it. What was I looking for in order... Like, why did I think yielding was worth it? Faith? Because I wanted faith? I got everything I wanted out of faith. We're done with faith. I don't need faith. Maybe willful is good. That could give me more intrigue, learn about ciphering. I could try to still be cheerful and learn about more athletics? Yeah, alright. Let's do that. Let's try and be cheerful. Let's try and keep the athletics going. And by being cheerful, I could visit the dungeons to be cheerful. Nah, let's go with the lonely. Lonely and yielding. Because, no, I don't want to be yielding. Willful is fine. Swimming? That's a really good point. If we have to do... If we have to keep a Kraken contained, we should probably learn how to swim. You make a good point, Senna. Okay, so we'll stay cheerful, because athletics. Do our best to be cheerful. A walk in the fresh air helps you forget the burdens on your shoulders. Alright, still cheerful. Very cheerful, actually. We're doing just fine over here. Alright. So... swimming. Yep. Let's learn how to swimming. Might as well. What else are we doing? What else do I feel like I might want to work on? Military, eventually? I'm gonna go back to the tuxedo for now. Because I'm pretty sure that if war is gonna happen, I'll have some advance notice. What else would I like to work on? You know, you can't let stuff like that keep you down, Senna. Like, alright, so Giant Kraken is gonna attack the country. Like, who does it serve to just sit around moping about giant Krakens, you know? Just be upbeat, be optimistic. Like, things could get better. Oh, God, no. She's not looking forward to being ravaged by a giant Kraken. This is not that kind of anime. Oh my god. Alright, for real though, swimming. We're doing swimming. And then eventually what? Where else are we gonna go from here? Like, I still think we can just completely dodge social. Just never touch social at all. So I probably want to eventually get into medicine. Battlefield medicine, learning poison is probably useful. Maybe useful. Maybe ever useful. History might ever be useful. So we can look at, like, potentially getting into history, but for now, swimming. Okay, good. Decided. Swimming. You get comfortable in the water, splashing around and holding your breath to go under. You practice walking and hopping through the shallows, feeling the difference in resistance that the water applies to your movement. You practice floating on your front and your back, letting the water do the work of holding you up. Time has slipped by you so quickly. Only 2 weeks remain before your birthday celebration, and your official coronation as queen. Have you done enough to build a stable Nova? The first of your soon-to-be regular voyages has now set out with Celine on board. She appears to have some special affinity with seawater, which makes her the best choice to guide a vessel while it hunts for the elusive beast. After all, you have to find it before you can enchant it. It is traditional for the palace to provide entertainment and refreshment for the common people when a new monarch is crowned. It is a rare opportunity for the poor of the land to dine like nobles. The size and scope of any such feast depends on what expense the royal treasury is willing to bear. I don't know. Respectable? Let's be respectable. We could be extravagant. That's kind of too much. Let's be respectable. What week is this? This is week 38. And it's asking me questions about what size of feast. I mean, you gotta start planning it. It's coming up soon, right?
I'm sure we can afford to give everyone in the city some bread and sausage and a bit of cake.
I don't actually know what the state of my coffers are, although I could visit the treasury and find out. Let's visit the treasury and find out. Accounting success. You visit the royal treasury and check your available funds. You have 3,289 gold lassi and 59 silver tilasi. I have no idea how much money that is. Is this knowledge valuable to me in the slightest? Who knows? Alright. We can learn one more swimming, and then we have to start working on uncapping swimming. That is actually also a good point, Lutukor. Keeping a kraken sealed is expensive. You practice climbing up and down fixed ladders, driving out any fear of heights, and learning to move swiftly and surely. You practice treading water, keeping yourself afloat for increasing periods of time. The castle is buzzing with preparations for your upcoming coronation. Ministers press you with details for your favorite colors and flowers and so on. You really can't see the point of wasting time worrying about decorations when there's so much else to worry about. Alright, week 39. Trivia! There's a decorations check. Alright, Darkstar, you got me. I laughed. Others are more interested in the subject of your marriage. It can't take place until you are of age, of course, and considering all the preparations and the need to recover from the coronation, not for much longer than that. Still, it doesn't stop people from buzzing around full of ideas and suggestions. Alright, well, good for them. I'm kinda not interested. Let's walk in the lonely gardens and be cheerful. Cheerful and lonely. How are we doing, by the way? What is my mood right now? Max cheerful. I can afford to be a little less cheerful, I think, if I'm ever going to decide to play with anything else. Alright, we need to uncap athletics. So we need to be running, jumping, climbing trees. And that will teach us how to swim eventually. You switch back and forth between a brisk walk and a light, bouncing jog. Not too fast. You're building endurance rather than speed. You steadily increase the proportion of time you spend jogging, with shorter breaks of walking to recharge your energy. You learn to evaluate whether a tree or a branch is safe to bear your weight. You clamber up and down trees, able to fetch fruit or get a better view. Oh, we unlocked an outfit. What outfit did we unlock? At this time last year, you were celebrating your 14th birthday. You were in the school gardens, surrounded by your friends. A teacher brought you tea and cakes, while a wealthy merchant's son wove a crown of flowers for your head. It didn't matter so much that you were a princess then. Your title was something for the future. Many of your peers would be duchesses or earls or the like someday, but not then. You were children. Your parents could not attend on the actual day, but they did send wonderful gifts, some for you and some for you to share. And a week later, they came for a visit, and your mother took you with her through the countryside in a splendid carriage. Everything takes a week to happen. Like, the minimum amount of time for anything to happen is a week. It was the last time you would ever see her. Aw, this got sad. You wonder if, wherever she is, she can see you now. You are 15 years old, a legal adult. You have worked and studied and suffered and prepared, and now the time has come. Well, we did it! We got there! I thought there was so much more to do! Hang on, it's only what, week 40? Huh. You kneel before the priestess, barely hearing her words as she recites the blessings. She calls upon the gods to deliver peace, wisdom, and prosperity to you, and through you to all of Nova. And then she calls upon you for your oath of rulership. Will you guide and govern and protect your people to the best of your ability, according to law and custom?
I will.
Will you, to the best of your power, uphold the ideals of love, honor, justice, and mercy?
I will.
Lords and ladies assembled, I present to you your undoubted queen, who has sworn you her loyalty. You who have come to give homage, will you do the same? One at a time, the head of each duchy appears or approaches your throne, and kneels to swear his or her service to you and your heirs.
People of Nova, I give you Elodie, daughter of Fidelia.
Fidelia? Cool name.
Your true sovereign! What say you all? Long live the Queen! Long live the Queen! Long live the Queen! Thank you! I will!
Elodie still optimistic. The following year, Elodie and Talarist were married in a ceremony that threatened to rival her coronation for pomp and splendor. Talarist brought with him a gift of fine white horses, and encouraged his young wife to amuse herself while he enjoyed his new place in Novan politics. He was clearly in no hurry to provide an heir to the throne. Good. She's 15. You can afford to take some time and chill the heck out. Once his daughter was secure on her throne, Jocelyn returned to his birthplace to focus on his duties as Duke of Caloris. He soon became engaged to the Countess Sirin. Alright, so they still got together. After everything that we did to try and deny them, they're still okay. The Queen and her trusted lumens sailed out every week to check on the condition of the Kraken and reinforce the seals. It was inevitable that others would discover their secret and blame them for it. After all, the old Novan capital had been rendered uninhabitable by monstrous lumen experiments. A tentacled beast from the deep was just more of the same. The Novan people were not the only ones to notice the increased naval traffic and the frequent absences of the young Lumen Queen. Pirates from Orcus stepped up their raids in the area, hoping to take Elodie hostage and ransom her for a fortune. Why would you try and take a Lumen hostage? Are you kidding me? The Queen was forced to engage in even larger naval escort to make her regular trips to the binding site, and the Novan economy struggled under the burden. The loss of their fleet was a terrible setback for Shangia. However, as with a garden weed, if the root is not burned out completely, the infestation may return even worse than before. The king of Shangia had somehow escaped either drowning or capture, and returned to his homeland to plot revenge against Nova. Raising a new army put a strain on the Shangian royal treasury, which brought internal tensions among the former city-states to the fore. It would be some years before Shangia could manage to field a conquering horde again. And thus Queen Elodie's legacy stretched into the future. Dang! Finally! Finally a win! Whew. So only 40 weeks. Huh. Alright. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna refill my water.